Mr. Ingo Wolf, German citizen. You can take your seat already this week. It's again long biography, many years in precious metals industry. But before I go into this, you know, if we talk silver in jewelry, it's probably more than 1,000 tons that we consume. If we talk gold, from like annual production of gold, let's say 3,000 metric tons, several hundreds go into jewelry. Like US only is 128 tons of gold. If we talk about platinum, I just calculated, platinum in jewelry is round about, sorry for no ounces, we can talk about 2 million ounces, let's make like 60 tons of platinum goes annually into platinum jewelry. There is some palladium jewelry, some minor. Rhodium also has an application in our beautiful, fashionable business for rhodium plating solutions, for example. I'm not aware, I will ask you about iridium and ruthenium. Can we put it into jewelry?
Not really, no.
Not really, thank you. The short answer is enough. And then we are left out of 8 precious metals, gold, silver, and all 6 PGMs with osmium. And this is exactly going to be the topic for the last 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and let's close it with a short discussion. I have a couple of smart questions. I hope they are smart and you will be able to justify it. So, Mr. Ingo Wolf, a German scientist, entrepreneur. He's truly a man of renaissance. He had IT-based TV before YouTube was available. He produced his first electric car based on a very nice Mazda. And he was involved in gold mining somewhere in Europe, but now we call him Mr. Osmium. You will understand why.
Thank you, Stevie. So, hello. I still have to tell my mother that my name has changed from Ingo Wolf to Mr. Osmium now, but anyway, my family will deal with that. Well, yes, it's an interesting topic, and I tried to put it into these 120 minutes to make the story short for you. Okay, so what is osmium? You know that there are 8 precious metals, of course, every one of you. And ruthenium, there are options to put it into jewelry. This is a new market coming up too, but it is still small. And we hope that the osmium market will raise fast. And my job is in the Osmium-Institute in Germany. I'm the director, and I'm responsible for marketing osmium to give people just information about how osmium is certified. That is not unforgeable. That people can trust into the osmium industry, and that is what I'm here for. So it's a mixture of you with marketing and a little bit of science and a little bit of building up a future for an element that was said to be dark and dusty and ugly and toxic and everything. This is just not great. If you produce jewelry, you don't want it to be ugly. That's not really good. And it looks like that now. So later on you will have the option to spot it. So characteristics of osmium, let's go into that first, because you told me something very important, that this complete jewelry business is storytelling. And if you're running out of stories, then you're running out of market. So this is why you really move too much. Yeah.
I move too much.
Yes, so speak different.
Can I use that? Okay, good. So let's go over here and can spot on this. What you can see here is, first of all, osmium is the densest of the metals. So if you try to forge osmium, you'll have to put something in that has the same density as with tungsten and gold. That's not possible with osmium because the density is 22.61. Then compression modulus is very high, so you cannot destroy this metal. That is not possible. And highest abrasion resistance of all elements, so you can make a file for your nails that will last for the next 300,000 years. Maybe that is enough. So there are a lot of interesting things. You can shield against gamma radiation, but nobody will build a spacecraft out of osmium with this density. Yes. So maybe these industry things will not be done or not be used, but it is a great opportunity for storytelling. Now, this is what you really can use in terms of this element, and that's important for the platinum group metals and for all of you. Osmium is combined with all of the other metals because you can't sell it standalone. You will not wear a ring of osmium because if it will fall down, it is a little brittle and it might crush on the ground. So you have to put the osmium into protecting metals, and so we want to bring up an industry that combines these things. But on the other hand, it is not possible to make alloys out of osmium. So you cannot put gold and osmium together and then have 1% of osmium and call it osmium. That's just not possible because the crystallization process is not possible with an alloy. So, most important fact, it's not impossible to forge osmium. That's not possible, and I'll come to that later. A couple of years ago, let's say in 2013, I learned about a guy who was able to crystallize osmium. His name is Wolf. We became friends in an instant because he was on a trade show and he came to my booth and I was selling gold and silver and indium and germanium, and I was so proud to be in this industry. And we had 3 fields for gold and antimony in Bulgaria, and we ran into the business. And then this guy came and said, "Hey, well, I'm Rolf from Switzerland and I'm able to crystallize osmium, and all of the others here are not interested in this." I said, "Okay, they are bankers, yes. This is an industry where they talk about money, not about jewelry, etc." And we became friends, and 1 year later, my job was to market the international world of osmium. And I had my first speech on this audium here on the Invest in Stuttgart in Germany, and we just set up this little meeting there, and 400 people came in. And after this meeting, I got 300 mails, and all these mails were full and packed with questions about osmium. So we figured out that it is not a thing that you can just start to go into a market and say, "Hey, we sell osmium." There have been so many questions that we stepped back in 2014 and to make our homework, first of all. So to do all of these analysis, studies, talking about financial markets, figuring out how to build osmium into jewelry. And this became my job during the last years, together with a couple of friends. So osmium might look like that if you put it into a ring form. You can put it into a protection part like titanium or platinum, etc. You can put it in gold, you can put it in whatever you like to, and it is still a replacement for diamonds. But what I predict is that, or what I can assume is that during the next years we will see a massive change in diamond market, a massive change, because man-made diamonds will crush this market completely. And I know what I'm talking about, so if you'd like to make this discussion with a glass of wine later, come to our booth, and I'd like to discuss that. So here are a couple of examples. And the wristwatch industry is going into osmium, which helps us in marketing. A couple of brands are there who just use it right in the moment. And here we come with the opportunities of the rarest precious metals. Well, if I say rare, then what do I mean? In the complete Earth crust, you will find, let's say, 9 cubic meters of osmium. Please put this in your mind, 9 cubic meters of osmium. That is not much. You can put this in a big car. And what is possible to get out of the ground, really, to work with this, to process it, this might be 2 cubic meters. And with a density of 22.61, this will be 44 metric tons. And 44 metric tons, that is not so much material. And then we're running out of osmium. So then it is done. So this is a market which we can work on during the next 5 years. And then there will be no market anymore. So let's do it now, and let's take the money that we can earn with it. And here is this new star, this osmium on the left-hand side. You see, silver, gold, palladium, platinum, rhodium, iridium, all of you know that. Ruthenium did his rally last year, and we think that it is now time for osmium. Let's talk about purity first, because usually you are used to a 4-9 equality, something like that. What we see now is 99.9995%. And you might think that this is a high number and a good quality, but tell you the truth, it is not possible, or it hasn't been possible, to measure this more exactly. Because what we really think is that we have a purity of 7 nines, which is quite good, and proud of that. Because we go through the gas phase with the crystallization, so we have this purity and you can't change it anymore. And here you see the scientific charts about the analysis, and we've got all of these paperworks here, so you can see whatever you like to. Well, in 2013, osmium was known as a toxic substance. Toxic doesn't mean that you take a breath and then you die. Well, this just means it is harmful for your lungs and your eyes. So you should not take more than 1 deep breath of osmium. This is enough, because it's a little like, I did this, it's a little like being in a doner kebab. Yes, it's garlic and it is onions Don't use it for a recipe, but this is the smell. So you will never, never, never run by accident into the cloud of oxygen tetraoxide. You will run in the moment that you smell that, yeah. So that is not so dangerous. But on the other hand, we'll have to be careful, because if you process osmium, you should not go over temperatures of 400 to 700 degrees, because otherwise parts of it will vaporize to osmium tetroxide and go straight to the air, and then it might be harmful. So we'll have to teach people who manufacture osmium. This is what we do. This is our main work in the Osmium-Institutes all over the planet, which is, by the way, right in the moment, 24 institutes on 3 continents. So we worked in South Africa, we are placed in Sydney, Australia. It's going over to Russia. We're covering Europe quite good. A couple of countries are missing, like Italy, but I think they do not make jewelry, don't they? Italy? No, you're not related to beauty and things. No, we have to help those countries. But to be honest to you, when we step to the US, what do you think how many partners we do have in the US now? Well, none. Yeah, it is. Maybe this is related to my bad English, but we really try to get into the US now. We need to get the contacts to the manufacturers. We need to have Osmium-Institutes in every state here. If you do have some contacts, please help us. Because we're just scientific guys, we're not used to market an element in this particular market. So we need the expertise that you have. Please come to us. We'll have our booth right over there, just a couple of meters in the hall, straight to the selfie wall. So if you want to take a selfie with you, then please come to our booth too. Okay. So in the moment you crystallize this raw osmium, it happens the same things in the crystallized structure as from carbon to a diamond. So you change the order in which the atoms are in the crystal. And this means you change completely the chemical and physical properties of the metal. And it's not toxic anymore. You can touch it, you can eat it if you want to, and it will stay for a long time. As a friend of mine calculated, it will stay longer than 140,000 times longer than the universe. So this is an element forever. And as it is said that diamonds are forever, they're not. You can burn them. And that diamonds are so pretty, and the girl's best friend, to come to the title of this little speech. Well, osmium's not yet, yes? Because we have an interesting number. What do you think, how high is the percentage of male or female persons who buy osmium? How many male percent? Just give me a number, come on, you're a male, aren't you? Do you have osmium? Not yet? Oh, big mistake. No, it is 70% male people that bought osmium. And they don't do it for jewelry purposes. They do it for an investment. They put it in a safe. And we see that this market is growing very, very fast. And we'll have to close up to this market with the jewelry now. Because those investors have just one aim, to resell to our market, to the jewelry market. So this means if you buy osmium in future, it will be more expensive. So it's better to buy now, to start production, and to start manufacturing instead of running into higher prices. Because just through the last 2 weeks, we saw another 12% increase in pricing. So, and this is how it looks like, by the way. If you go into the nanometer scale, then this is how osmium looks like. And I can show you an example. We call this the osmium sparkle. And now I have to put the microphone for a moment into your hand. Thank you. Just hold it for a moment. Because so if you hold osmium or diamonds on a body, you're gonna see the diamonds in the light of a very far distance. Yeah, so you can travel on the body, and the lady will come in with diamonds in the sunlight, and you will see the sparkle of these diamonds. But part of the light is not reflected; it is split into the frequencies. With osmium, this is different. And you're gonna see this now. This is what happens with osmium in the sunlight. This is what they call the osmium sparkle. So, you can see this of a very, very big distance. So maybe this is an interesting level to be used on bodies. And it's related to this crystallized inner structure, because all of these little areas that you saw are perfect mirrors. So if a beam will hit your eye, you definitely will see that. Okay, so increasing markets. In 2017, we began to set up the institutes around the planet, and now in 19 we start marketing. And well, as the numbers with Osmium market are small now, we do have a big growth. So in the first Q of this year, it has been an increase of 150% in terms of revenue, and we think that this will be the rule for the next 2 years too. So we see an interesting market. Osmium is delivered in plates like that. We call them disc or in rings. And this is how they look like as a semi-manufactured product, so that you have an idea how osmium comes to the market. And this is the inside view into the osmium, because it is possible to work with osmium on a very, very low scale. So you can have 0.002 of a millimeter as accuracy in production and cutting. These little strides that you can see here are in the osmium as a fingerprint. So whenever an osmium disc goes to the market, you'll have the crystalline structure of the surface as a fingerprint of every piece of osmium. So you cannot counterfeit it. That's not possible. And you can see this here. This is a little lizard. Let's say this is the complete hand of this little animal is 0.2 of a millimeter. So there is a high accuracy, and you can see all of these little crystals here. And this is the fingerprint with which we work, because for osmium, there is an osmium database in which every piece is mentioned. So this is why we know how much osmium is on the market and who is, what's happening now? Well, presentation seems to end.
Time's up, sorry, goodbye.
Okay, I learned the rest by heart, by the way. So, the osmium identification code is a number and letter code, which is made of 8 digits, and with this code you can identify every piece. So if you want to buy osmium someday, and you are a private individual, you find somebody else who wants to sell this osmium to you, then you just take the code, put it into the osmium identification code database on the internet, and you're going to receive a picture or a scan of the surface of the osmium that you will buy. So you can see definitely whether this is the piece that this is offered to you, and you can be absolutely sure that this piece is true. And this meaning there is a trade between private persons. And with the new instrument that we call the OCC, and you can see the codes here on these little boxes, because hey, what is happening here?
Press the wrong button.
No, I did not press anything. Here, I did not press anything, tell you. But anyway, what you see here is this little code, and you can see the price, product group, mass, and dimensions of this particular piece on the internet. If you want to change the owner someday, then you use not just the osmium identification code, then you use the OCC, which is the owner change code. So one time you can change this code, and then this piece of osmium will be controlled by the next owner. So you can give it from one to the next person without any problem. Good. Opportunities. As osmium isn't harmful anymore, we can put it into the market now, we can transport it. It is available in a lot of shapes, and we can do jewelry with it. Interesting is that the semi-manufactured products are now in Texas free of duty. So you can get it into America easily, and you can sell it here. So that is a good opportunity for all of us who work with the semi-finished and fabricated products. Show you some pictures. This is the disc in sunlight. And we have a couple of applications, like for example osmium diamonds we call them. They're very, very small, 3 to 4 millimeters in diameter, and you can use them in the crown of a ring just as a diamond. And people really use them to replace diamonds and rings, because osmium is a much more valuable material than diamonds are. And with the upcoming man-made diamonds, I think that the prices of diamonds will go down rapidly. Because you see that the prices are going linear. If you buy a quarter of a carat, it's $200 right at the moment. If you buy 1 carat, it's $800. If you buy 2 carats, it's $1,600. So this is linear. So if you, in former times, when you bought a big diamond, it wasn't linear, it was logarithmic. So you really had to pay more if the carats were higher. And in this market now, they just produce a mass product which is called diamond, and this will make this market fall down. This is what I really predict. In a couple of years, this will crush. And we have had a lot of talks with the dealers of diamonds in Zimbabwe, in South Africa, etc. And they say, please Ingo, can we hop into osmium business, cause our customers in the past bought diamonds for horrible prices, and now we sell the same things just a little better for a lower price, and they think that we're going to cheat them. So these diamond dealers want to go to the osmium market, and I'd like you to do the same transition. To work with, for example, star rows, which we can use like split bars, or with different shapes, because osmium can be cut in every form that you like to. You can see some examples. It is done via erosion, so very easy process, very high accuracy, and then you'll have semi-manufactured products like that. Yes. And the biggest thing that we can produce, by the way, just to give you an idea, is this family office disk. Let's say the value is $125,000 right at the moment, and in the big boxes you got just 8 of those disks for family offices. But what we really want to do is go with these things to the jewelry market as fast as we can, because on the other hand, we just have the investors, yes. Okay, so one outlook for future, we try to reduce spheric objects. And it worked just one time, and this is the result. This is the first osmium pearl. And maybe that in a year or two we will have a process to work with these spheric objects more, and then we go for the pearl market, not just for replacing diamonds. So we want to go into both of those markets. If you want to get information, there is Osmium TV on the internet, or a couple of internet websites. And of course, we do have our contact team. This is the international team, a couple of ladies and me. And yeah, this has been what I wanted to tell you. So thank you for listening to me. Thank you that nobody left the room, that you're still here. And if you're interested in osmium and in our small market, then please come to our booth. It would be great. Thank you.
Consumer than the stone. And that's why, again, the constant education that we're trying to do, the Gold Council hasn't been around for a long time. Luckily, they have companies like CRYSTALLINE that are, kind of doing the promotions for them. But again, that's why, the metals need to work together, particularly because it's more about the stone in the US than anything else.
Yeah, if you want to get an idea of market reaction to substantially changed products, watch what's happening with lab-grown diamonds versus natural diamonds or mined diamonds. FEC actually had some effects there too, by eliminating the fact you can call a mined diamond a real diamond. You have to call it a mined diamond, or you have to call it a natural diamond. So there's that, and the marketing on that is already quite extensive, and the marketing is really done on the basis that you have a choice now. It's not, this is better than that, but now you have a choice, make an intelligent choice. You're discussing education earlier. From the marketing comment, I'd say that most bigger companies know